you. It is 8:03 a.m. We'll go ahead and call the meeting back to order. And just since we have a new day, if you could do a roll just to account for who's in attendance from the commission.
Okay, Commissioner Obenshing.
Present.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just promoted Commissioner Manus.
Okay, and Commissioner Beck is not attending today. Chair Burt.
Here.
Commissioner Clausius-Village.
Here.
Secretary Ingham is here. Vice Chair Gibson.
Here.
Commissioner Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Manus. Okay, Commissioner Carrillo.
Present.
Commissioner Manus is kind of present.
He's up there with his high school picture.
Yeah. We'll move on. So we have 7 of 8 right now, and we'll.
Yeah, so we have a quorum of 7 at this moment. And then Commissioner Manus, when you're online, you can announce yourself. All right. So that takes us to, we are on item 4D, and we are now at the Taos International School renewal hearing. And we'll start with item 1, which is the CSD evaluation. And Mr. Boots, I see you're here for us.
Good morning, Chair Burt, Commissioners. My name is Greg Boots, Authorizing Administrator for the Charter Schools Division. I'm here to provide the PED evaluation for Taos International School. Taos International School opened in 2014-2015 with the Public Education Commission as their authorizer. This is their 3rd application for renewal with the PEC. The school's mission is, we at Taos International School, through inquiry-based learning, will acquire languages and the academic and social skills necessary to function in our local, national, and international community. The school is led by Nadine V. Hill, but it really embodies the distributed leadership model, which is probably evident by many people behind me. Taos International School is an IB, International Baccalaureate School, which has the primary years program, PYP, and the middle years program, MYP. It also has a dual language model, 50-50 in grades K through 3rd, and a heritage model in grades 4 through 8. On October 29th, the school was visited by Charter School Authorizing Practices Administrators, Robert Gallegos, and myself, and we were joined by CSD contractor Kristen LaVolpa. Fiscal analyst Teresa Flowers did the business manager meeting remotely. Recommendation. The Charter Schools Division recommends that Taos International School be renewed with a charter contract term of 5 years with academic conditions in math. The recommendation is based on the record of school's performance over the course of the contract term. The renewal application, which highlights adult actions and programs in the service of student progress and verification of those programs and adult actions during our renewal site visit and annual visits. When we attended the school, we were looking for evidence of specific adult actions to raise academics. In 21-22, reading proficiency was 20%. It only gradually increased in the following 2 years. Collectively, both the school and CSD were able to let out a sigh of relief when the scores rose by 15% in 2024-25 to 40%, which is a huge growth. Math, however, hasn't shown the same growth. In 23-24 and in 24-25, the math proficiency was at 11%. The school did send us supplemental interim math growth data that shows growth in math projections and student median in the conditional growth percentile. Altogether, in all 4 years of the school's term, the school has been designated as traditional. In FY24, the school had 4 total findings, with 1 significant deficiency and 1 repeat finding, which means that they only had 1 additional audit finding from 24 to 23. However, it had 0 material weaknesses, which is less than their 2 previous material weaknesses in 23. So the school showed growth there. The days of cash on hand has risen each year, and in FY24, it finished at 60 days of cash on hand. Now on to the ratings. In the areas that met the standards, they did so for mission-specific goals, educational program, in the areas that demonstrate substantial progress, student outcomes, financial compliance, governance responsibilities, and other performance indicators. There were no areas where the school is failing to demonstrate progress. Ultimately, CSD did not rate Taos International as failing to demonstrate progress in any category. However, I did want to underscore that student outcomes came the closest to receiving that designation due to the math proficiencies. So to summarize, I like this school. I like that Taos International has both an MYP and a PYP program. I like it's an IB school. I used to teach at an IB school in Albuquerque. I like that the families are happy and feel they're sending their children to a safe location. That was reiterated multiple times in the parent focus group and also in the student focus group. If members of the PEC want to start their day out singing the school's mission statement, then I'd recommend visiting this one. We will definitely start the day out singing. And I like that the school has started to dive deeper into their data to make better data-informed decisions. And with the condition in math, I'd like to see a bit more growth in that subject. Thank you. Oh, sorry. To summarize, therefore, the recommendation from CSD is that this school be reviewed with conditions in math. Now, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that'll take us to item 2, which is tribal input. This school is not subject to tribal consultation, but I will take a moment and pause. And if there is anybody that is in the audience in person or online and has an official recommendation or opinion on behalf of a tribe or pueblo, we will pause for just a moment. You can raise your digital hand, or if you're in person, and once again, if you're officially representing a tribe or pueblo, please raise your hand and we'll call you to speak at this time.
There's no one online.
All right, thank you, Ms. Valenzuela. All right, that'll take us to item number 3 is public comment. So back to you again, Lucy.
Great, so we have 8 people that will be making public comment for the school this morning. The first one is Jasmine Sandoval. Jasmine, once you come up to the desk, please make sure to spell out your full name for the court reporter and make sure that the mic is on. And I've given directions to Ms. Vigil and Amanda about how to support.
And just in case anybody needs, we are going to try to keep it to 2 minutes for public comment. Thank you.
I'll have a timer on as well.
Good morning.
There you go.
Good morning.
Morning.
So my name is Jasmine Sandoval, Jasmine Sandoval.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And I am at Taos International School, and I am officially an 8th grader this year, and I have been at Taos International School since kindergarten, and it's been such a wonderful experience here because they have multiple opportunities to just teach new things. And as you could tell, I am a former mariachi student at Taos International School, a part of Mariachi Paisanos de Taos. And it's super wonderful because you just get to learn new opportunities. You get to do after school programs. You even some classes even allow you to have after school programs just to help you learn more. And it's super awesome. The school is really great. It's awesome to learn here, and I've just learned so much at the school, especially with after school, and it's just so fun here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You, Jasmine.
Okay, next we have Alia Aragon.
Hi, my name is Leah Aragon. and I'm an eighth grade student. I have been at the school since kindergarten, and this school is an awesome and wonderful school. There's after school programs, and whenever you need help with something, they sit there and help you and like teach you. I don't know what else to say. I'm scared. Um, there's different after school programs like D&D and like tutoring and mariachi. And I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Did a great job.
Thank you. Next, we have Reina Avelar.
Hola. Hi, my name is Reina Avelar. I am an eighth grade student at Taos International School. I've been here since kinder, and one thing I could say is that, well, they basically covered all of it, especially Jasmine. There's no bullying in our school, and if anyone is being like mistreated or something, they will always do something about it. They always listen to us and they always tell us like how to solve it, and then they make us like talk to one another. So there's no like beef between us. Yeah, I don't know what else to say because they said everything I was going to say. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next I have Julie K. Vigil Romero.
Good morning, Madam Chair and fellow commissioners. My name is Julie Hill Romero. I am currently the GC chair at Taos International School, but previously I was a parent of two children who were my world, who both had some underlying, I don't even want to say issues, but underlying needs. One of them on an IEP and the other on a 504 plan. I'm here to tell you that the only school in our community that accepted and embraced my children and supported them throughout their journey in elementary and secondary education was Taos International School. Previously, I am a retired CAC director and a forensic interviewer. So every day I would go to work to help protect New Mexico's children. And my biggest fear and concern is that my kids were going to school and not feeling safe. Once my kids began attending Taos International School, that was no longer a fear or a concern. They were cared for, loved, and not bullied or made to feel any different than any other child in school. That was everything to me, which is why I'm so passionate about supporting Taos International School, and I believe truly in the vision and mission of Taos International School. And it's truly a wonderful place to support children, and I'm honored to serve as their chair. Thank you for your time.
Okay, next I have Ezra Phillips.
My name is Ezra James Phillips. And why I come to this school is because I think it's safe. And because my teachers are very friendly. I like Amaryllis and also art. I also like playing at recess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, I have, oh God, I cannot tell what the first name is. Last name is Vihil? Rhonda? Rhoda. Oh, sorry about that.
Good morning, commissioners of the PEC, families, teachers, and community partners. My name is Rhoda Vihil, and I'm the parent of a student at Taos International School. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about why this school not only deserves to have its charter renewed, but why it is essential to the educational strength of northern New Mexico. Taos International School is the only international baccalaureate school in Mexico, which is an incredible asset for our community. The school's mission and vision emphasize bilingualism, multicultural understanding, respect, and curiosity. These values are not simply written statements. They are visible in every classroom and interaction on campus. One of the Taos International School's greatest strengths is its small class sizes. Teachers truly know each child, understand their needs, and personalize learning so every student, no matter their starting point, can succeed. At a time when many schools struggle with overcrowding, the individualized attention is invaluable. Equally important is the school's strong family-centered culture. Parents are welcomed as active partners, and the bilingual, multicultural focus reflects the community it serves. This connection between school and families creates a safe, supportive environment where children feel confident and thrive. Taos International School represents exactly what New Mexico needs: innovative, inclusive, culturally rooted, academically challenging, and deeply caring education. Renewing its charter means supporting a model that uplifts students' achievements and prepares children for an interconnected world. On behalf of students, families, and our community, I respectfully ask the PEC to renew the charter of Taos International School so it can continue inspiring the next generation of leaders and leaders. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just in time. Next, I have Henry Warren Kelly.
Good morning. Oh, sorry, I just stepped on your foot. So my name is Henry Warren Kelly, WARRENKELLY. And thank you, commissioners and commission. I am a recently retired educator, 33 years. I had the opportunity to work at this school for 2 years, and I support their rechartering. I think the question here is, why is Taos International School vital to the school community, right? And I think in summary, it's a unique place in our community in Taos for the reasons that our evaluator gave us, the IB school curriculum, and also the commitment to bilingual, bicultural education. It shows very strongly in both of those areas. To review what our evaluator said, besides being unique in our area in Taos, it's only a handful of IB schools in New Mexico that has the PYP and the MYP. And I think that that's an important thing to encourage, because I think IB education is growing in the United States. I think that 80% of IB schools are actually public schools. And I think we need to encourage that movement because it gives that global-minded focus and international focus that we sorely need, I think, in our communities and in our country. And to just review what you may have already heard, the accountability and support for our school comes from 2 areas. One is you all, but also the IB World School Consortium. All right? There's a huge amount of support there and accountability that's built into that. And so this school basically recharters twice. often. And so they get the accountability from the International Baccalaureate as well. So there's built-in quality assurance for all of you. I think also in terms of being more specific about what we get out of Taos International School as Taoseños is that it supports that whole child and the whole community. If you come to visit our school, you'll see the mariachi. They'll be performing for you today. But we also have the Comanche Genízaro dancers that is performed here at our school, and that's a tradition that will die if it's not passed on to future generations. I'm from Llano Quemado, and they come and dance for me on the 1st of January, and I see these kids participating in their local culture that has lasted 400 years. So last and not least, I think it needs to be pointed out that socioeconomically, this school embraces first-generation Americans. It embraces migrant students. And I'm not going to be afraid to say that I support supporting migrant students, and that happens at our school. I hope that, that assertion is a supportive thing for you on the commission. And lastly, as a former teacher, I think that there's great teacher satisfaction at the school. And as an educator who wants to see young educators come into the profession, I think that a school like Taos International School is a great place to start, a great place to learn, and a great place to move on into their career or stay at the school. Unfortunately, I got a little long in the tooth, and it was my time to go, but I really enjoyed my time there, and I really believe that a teacher learns how to be a joyful teacher at a school like Taos International. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay, next up, I have Amanda Torres.
I apologize.
Or you were just, okay,
I'm a presenter today.
never mind. Next up, I have Angela Mondragon.
So a presenter today.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
And then I got 2 more sheets for people signing up. So Luna Gonzalez.
Hi, my name's Luna Elena Mariela Gonzalez, and why I like Taos International School is because
Speak loud. Speak loud.
I like to learn Spanish, and
Like a negotiation.
She's a little shy.
To be in mariachi.
when I grow more, I'm gonna be in mariachi.
What will you be playing?
I'll be playing the trumpet.
Do you like to be with your sister? Say that.
And I like to be with my sisters.
Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Nathaniel Sandoval.
Yep. I know. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Nathaniel Sandoval. I have two wonderful children that attend this Taos International School. And I don't have the stats in front of me, but what I can tell you is every year they show growth. Every year they grow in everything that they do. And the teachers allow them to learn what they're teaching them, obviously, but also explore beyond what they're trying to show them. So it broadens their horizon, it broadens their minds. And when people say, well, what school does your girls go to? And I say Taos International, they know exactly where that school is. Before that wasn't the case. Before, when the school just started, everybody's like, Taos International. Now everybody knows because it's so recognized with their music, with their teaching. All the teachers are wonderful. It's more like a family, right? Even the students. I'm a correctional officer for Taos County, and I see that everybody here is just one big happy family. And I would rather the school take care of them now and do a wonderful job, which they have been, then later on down the road, I have to, God forbid, see them where I'm at, right? They're doing such a wonderful job with their growth. I wish I had the stats in front of me, but if you see that, I think you're going to agree with me that they're doing an amazing job. So I just wanted to come and tell you that real quick. Thank you.
And finally, we have Cristina Gonzalez.
Good morning. My name is Christina Gonzalez, and I have two daughters who go to Taos International. One has been there since kindergarten, and with her growth of going to Taos International, when she was in HETS pre-K, her teacher asked me, wherever you put your daughter, please put it where they're going to challenge her, because my daughter is gifted. So we put her in Taos International because of the two languages to learn, and she has thrived. And my youngest, she follows her older sister, who also is thriving at Taos International. And I'm very happy with the school. I'm very happy with the teachers and the principal. And it's like everyone has said, this school isn't a school, it's a family. And everybody takes care of each other, and they let your children grow. And it's just an amazing school. So thank you.
And that concludes public comment.
Thank you, and thank you for everyone who spoke. All right, that'll take us to school comments. So I'll let you all go ahead and get set up and ready to go. And after you're all set up and ready, if you could first just introduce everyone on the panel who will be speaking, and then we'll start your time for the presentation. And if you have an unusual last name, if you can spell it so she can type it right for you. The dog. Start whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Thank you and good morning to all. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the public, members of the Public Education Commission, and everyone present here. My name is Nadine Vigil, Nadine Vigil. I am the founder, director, head administrator of the school. With me, I have my leadership team. I have Miss Yvette Driscoll here. She is the PYP coordinator. I have Miss Angela Mondragon. She's a PYP co-coordinator. Then I have Miss Amanda Torres, and she is the MYP coordinator. And Marissa Vigil, she is the co-MYP coordinator. So I also have representation from my financial group, which is the Vigil group. I have Aaron Savoya with us, and I have Mike Vigil. So Taos International is located on the base of the beautiful mountains of Taos, and it was established in 2014. So Taos International School is an IB World School. We are the only IB World School in Taos, by the ways. And we focus, our focus areas are international baccalaureate and the dual language programs. And so we are very excited to be here today and give you all our positivity that we have and share with you everything that we offer. So with that, next slide, please. Okay, why is Taos International School important to the community of Taos? Taos International plays a vital role in the community of Taos by providing a bilingual and multicultural education that reflects the area's rich cultural heritage. Through its dual language and globally focused curriculum, the school helps students become bilingual, culturally aware, and globally minded citizens. It serves as an educational alternative that values innovation, inquiry, and diversity while integrating local traditions and indigenous knowledge. By engaging families, community organizations, and local leaders, Taos International strengthens community connections and fosters pride in the region's unique identity. Ultimately, the school contributes to Taos' social and economic vitality by preparing students to thrive in an interconnected world while remaining rooted in their community history and values. So we're very proud that we promote values and culture heritage at our school. Next slide. Our mission statement was read by our charter school representative, but we will go ahead and recite it to you all. So can we recite together, ladies? And if you want to join us, public, you're more than welcome. We at Taos International School, through inquiry-based learning, will acquire languages and the academic and social skills necessary to function in our local, national, and international community. Our vision statement, students at Taos International learn to respect themselves, their community, and the larger diverse world in which they live in. The skills necessary to achieve their goals. It's a little hard to just recite it because we usually sing it. We start every morning with this, with our morning meeting. As you can see some pictures there, that's our morning meeting. We give announcements, we acknowledge students on things that they're doing within the community, within the school, and we sing our songs. So our students know what our mission statement means and what it is and what our vision is. So next slide, please. Taos International K-8 World IB School. We have a lot of celebrations, a lot to celebrate. TIS is being reauthorized for an additional 5 years as an IB World School. It's like one of our speakers mentioned. We have to go through their renewal and also through the renewal with you all, the PEC. TIS is the only IB World School in Taos. TIS is being nominated Top IB World School for 2026 and will be featured in the IB's educational magazine in the spring. We are very, very proud and excited with that. We are also recognized as a community school. TIS overall attendance improved from 78 to 98%. We're very proud of that too. That's a big celebration. Our Mariachi Paisano took second place in the Mariachi Conference that was held this past summer in Albuquerque. You will be able to enjoy them in a few minutes. You will be able to enjoy our mariachi group. TIS students met or exceeded our mission-specific goals for the past term. We also want to celebrate Taos International's reading proficiency more than doubled in years. TIS is on the PED's list of schools in the state for English language arts growth. We rose from 20% to 40%, so we are very proud with that. Very, very proud. Next slide, please. Elevating achievement in reading. TIS participated in the extended learning programs during the pandemic. We did that piece. TIS utilizes a high-performing literacy model through the approved structured literacy plan and Secret Stories reading program. TIS utilizes solutions therapy, which assists students with eye tracking to improve their reading skills. K-5 teachers are all trained in LETTERS, which stands for Language Essentials for Teachers of Reading and Spelling. Middle school staff are trained in AIMS Pathways, also a Science of Reading program. Multi-layered support systems, our MLSS interventions, we have in place, which works really well for us. We review data and we place our students according to the level that they're in to give them more intense intervention. A retired director comes in to tutor a small group in reading twice a week. We also have older students going to the younger grades to read to support literacy. Rigorous after-school homework club and tutoring programs are also being held. So we attribute all this to our proficiency moving up with our growth. So we're very proud of that piece. Next slide. Math. We recognize that our math proficiency is currently low. And as a staff, we are working hard to improve it. So we are going to do, we're going to now talk about how we're going to raise the bar. So with this, I will turn it over to Ms. Marissa Vigil. She's our math teacher and data analyst to speak on how we're going to raise the bar in math. Next slide.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. My name is Marissa Vigil. That's Marissa Over the past 4 years, Taos International School has demonstrated a steady academic growth. I'll be talking to you guys about our interim data, which we use the NWEA math. In 2021-22, we were at a 33 conditional growth percentile, and in 24-25, we rose to 45. And our increasing percentages of students are meeting their growth projections, which in 2023-24 was 30.6%. And now in 24-25, we're at 38.4. So we are seeing that steady growth. In the fall of 25-26, that's our 40-day data from this year, we have a baseline with a median percentile of 32, and 55% of our students are scoring between the 21st and the 60th percentile. So this confirms that our students are entering this year with a stronger baseline than in previous fall years. Together, these results show that our instructional practices, interventions, collective teacher effort are producing a meaningful and measurable improvement in student achievement. So what are we doing to bring up the scores? We now have consistent staffing in the math program. I've been the math teacher for the last 3 years. Before that, there was a lot of fluctuation with the math teacher. We're being more intentional with our data. So we're not only using overall RIT scores, but also the scale and gaps. Teachers are collaborating not only between the MYP, but also starting in kindergarten all the way to 8th grade to vertically align our units to the grade levels. We have in-house training. As you can see in the pictures up there, we're unpacking the standards and creating and sharing lessons together that align with both the IB and the Common Core state standards. We are utilizing the high-quality instructional materials that's been provided by the PED. That is something that is new, so we're still learning how to navigate that and navigate the resources online. We are implementing the AIMS Cubed, the Achievement-Inspired Mathematics for Scaffolding Student Success. Teachers were previously trained in the GLAD strategies, which is a reading strategy, and AIMS Cubed is similar to that, and we've seen great success with that. So teachers will be attending trainings. We are also involving our parents. So we have math nights where parents have a chance to work with students on their projects or assignments that are being done in class, and we include resources that parents can utilize at home also. Students are involved in their own learning, so we track their growth and their scores in their data folders, and we also anonymously display them in our classroom. Between 6th, 7th, and 8th, we have a friendly competition every year to see who has the most overall growth, and they get a pizza party. So this increases their morale and their motivation. Also in the PYP, they have multiplication, fraction skills, like our data tracking, they are tracking their growth within those skills. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Next slide. Okay, so she just talked about how to raise the bar. So Ms. Angela?
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. My name is Angela Mondragon, ANGELA-MONDRAGON, and I'm going to talk to you about our PYP MLSS program. We have 2 grade level pods for MLSS in the PYP and with a small group intervention, and our K through 2 pod is working very hard to really reinforce foundational skills for our little ones so that they can come strong into our 3rd through 5th pod, where we're working on skill maintenance and really trying to build on any gaps in where we feel like they might need a little bit of extra support. In math, we are looking at very specific areas of student need based on the data that we see from our map testing. And in reading, we are working on novel studies and working really hard on reading intervention for those students who are low, so that the students can be prepared to move up into our MYP MLSS program, which is very intensive. And I can speak for the third through fifth program that we are doing a week on, a week off of maths and reading, so that we're very, very intentional in let's target this skill. Let's make sure we have everybody really solid on it. And then let's switch over to so that we're getting a little bit of both areas of study. And all staff is involved, including even our director, who takes a small group to make sure that we're keeping our group small and giving the students the individual attention that they need. And to speak about our MYP program, we'll pass it along to Miss Amanda. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Amanda Torres, Amanda Torres, Torres. And today I'll be talking to you about the MYP MLSS. And our MLSS is done in 9-week increments at a time. And the purpose for that is so that our students can read an entire novel in a 9-week period, where they will be able to thrive and enjoy award-winning high-interest novels that we've selected to engage our students. We have small book study groups of 10 or fewer, matched to their instructional level. A lot of higher order thinking questions and end-of-the-book essays are done during this 9-week time. We've created a strong culture of confident and excited student readers. And ideally, our goal is to strengthen reading so that we can transfer it over to our math. As far as our math MLSS, our MYP staff has gathered together for our trainings and have thoroughly reviewed our Common Core State Standards. We review our NWA math scores, our NMASA scores, and we strategically place our students in small groups. And our groups are constantly moving and adapting to be in tune with their learning. We utilize programs like IXL. We do math talk discussions so that as we learn and talk about math, it transfers into their writing about math. We incorporate fun and wonderful games to play in math so that so students are fully engaged. And our MYP and PYP staff have been meeting to discuss strategies to make sure that we vertically and horizontally align our MLSS program. Thank you. Next slide, please.
No, not yet. Go back.
Okay, with this, we'll move to our dual language program that we offer. And TIS fosters bilingualism and biliteracy education. In K through 3, we offer a 50-50 dual language model, which means 50% of instruction is in English and 50% is in Spanish. In 4th through 8th grade, we offer the heritage model, which is to strengthen their Spanish for native speakers while continuing the bilingual development. Our TIS students, when they go to the high school, they have the opportunity to apply for the state seal of biliteracy. And we have a lot of our students that have gone from our school that have received that, which we're very proud of. I have highly qualified staff teaching the bilingual program. They have either a bilingual, TESOL, or modern classical languages endorsement. Next slide. Our English language learners, here's 17% of our population is identified as English learners, and we offer a full immersion program led again by the highly qualified teachers endorsing TESOL, bilingual and modern classical language education. TIS also provides a 1-hour pullout English language development program, delivering intensive targeted language instruction. Next slide, please. 15% of our population is identified as needing exceptional program services, and we provide those services with 2 highly qualified special ed teachers. Next slide.
I'm going to talk really quickly about our IB PYP program. And we are one of 9 authorized IB schools in New Mexico, and one of 1,924 in the United States, and one of 6,000 worldwide. So we feel very privileged to be part of that group. Our program is centered on student-led inquiry-based learning, and that I love the model. It's so much fun to teach. We also encourage global mindedness so that our students are aware of the whole world, not just our own little microcosm. And especially in our population, that is such a game changer for them. Each unit of inquiry that we teach our students through finishes off with a research project that is presented to the class. So the students are engaged from kindergarten in public speaking and research practices that is scaffolded so that, but from kindergarten to 5th grade, they are preparing for their exit project, which is our exhibition project. And that culminates the PYP program. And we are very proud that our PYP program has met or exceeded our mission specific goals for all 5 years. Our students have worked hard and it's paid off.
These are pictures of our students who, that are studying, whatever unit they're working on. Next slide. These are also some more pictures of our IB primary years program. Keep in mind that our primary years program is kindergarten through 5th grade. And MYP is 6th through 8th. Next slide. More pictures.
Getting some examples of our students in their projects.
Next slide.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I am Yvette Driscoll, YVETT I'm going to be talking about the IB PYP Learner Profile. The International Baccalaureate Learner Profile represents 10 attributes valued by IB World Schools. We believe these attributes and others like them can help individuals and groups become responsible members of local, national, and global communities. The 10 attributes are reflective communicators, balanced and principled, open-minded thinkers, caring inquirers, knowledgeable risk takers. Through the learner profile, students cultivate the values, skills, and attributes they need to thrive, not only in school, but in life. The attributes guide how students grow both as learners and as individuals. Students develop these qualities through inquiry, reflection, and social opportunities. The IB Learner Profile is not taught as a separate subject, but woven into all learning experiences, routines, and interactions throughout the school day. It shapes the way the students think, act, and engage with others. Throughout the school year, we celebrate students' growth during our daily school-wide morning meetings. Each month, we focus on a specific learner profile attribute and recognize students who have demonstrated exemplary growth and action related to that attribute. Certificates are presented to honor their achievements and to encourage all students to embody the qualities of the learner profile. The IB Learner Profile represents for many educators, not just a framework, but a beacon of compassion, a guiding light of hope and humanity. The aim is that all international baccalaureate programs is to develop internationally minded people who, recognizing their common humanity and shared guardianship of the planet, help to create a better and more peaceful world. Next slide, please. The exhibition. The exhibition is the culminating event in the final year of the International Baccalaureate Primary Years program in every IB World School, where students demonstrate their understanding of the essential elements of the IB program and choose a service-oriented action as a rite of passage before entering the MYP program. The IB exhibition is an exciting time. It is the students take to demonstrate their ability to use education to make a difference in this world. The exhibition is an educational process, not just a project. This process allows students to develop and combine the essential elements of the PYP program. It allows students to use knowledge, the concepts, and the skills in order to take authentic action. The students are faced with many challenges during this journey, and the total focus is on self-discovery and the contributions that they will make to the world as a compassionate, lifelong learner.
Exhibition represents a significant event in the life of our little IB-PYP dual language school. Our fifth grade students bring together the essential elements of the PYP and share them with the school community in front of a panel of judges. The resilience and perseverance of the students, the teachers, and mentors involved have been the highlight of this journey. PYP exhibition is a celebration of learning. Thank you.
Next slide. These are some examples of our students' PYP projects.
These are two students from fifth grade that are doing their IB exhibition project on the importance of education, of attendance. As you can see, the whole school is in on the competition and who has the best attendance for the month. We can already see the difference this exhibition is making in our attendance. Next slide.
So I will be discussing the IB Middle Years program. So when they enter the IB Middle Years program, they are well prepared. And we then bring in the approaches to learning, which include thinking, self-management, communication, research, and they work with others to become independent, confident, and lifelong learners. Next slide, please. MYP IB students have met or exceeded their mission-specific goals through impactful services action projects and ideally their community project. Students identify real community problems they feel inspired and empowered to help solve. Projects include reading to younger students and creating awareness presentations. Students support community needs such as helping the homeless, advocating for domestic violence victims. Some of their service projects include the Stray Hearts Pet Communication, the Stray Hearts. They organize food drives. They raise awareness of drug abuse, fire safety. Also preserving our local culture by supporting and maintaining our community acequia irrigation systems. They practice leadership skills by communicating with the public and inspiring positive change. Each project highlights students' compassion, initiative, and belief in their power to make a difference. In these pictures that you see, we have a group of students that raised money for the homeless population, and they provided backpacks. We have students here that are communicating with the public to get fundraisers started. And the other pictures demonstrate how they are going into classrooms and educating their younger peers about fire safety and about domestic violence. Next slide, please. We also have the service that takes many forms, selling popcorns to raise money for equipment. We have a group of students that are packaging chili so that we have our fundraiser, which is the chili fundraiser that helps us provide money for our field trips. Next slide, please. And here we have our MYP community projects in progress. We have students that present their project to a panel of judges from the community. They have, I believe, 10 minutes to present their project. They are well prepared to present this project that they have worked very hard on. And then on the other picture, they also present their projects to our student population as leaders and role models. Next slide, please. And next we lead into our specials, and we have our design class.
So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our design class. So this is something that's pretty special to TIS instead of, like the regular PE and art and music. Design is through the IB, and it's a mix of design technology and product design. Some examples of some projects up there are when students have to pick a piece of technology, find a problem with it, and improve it. So they start from scratch as far as materials that they need, like real life materials such as plastics. I had a student or a group of students who created a brand new washing machine because it used too much gas and electricity, so they made it a solar paneled one. I also have a student, if you can see back there, took a Tesla truck that they wanted to create a stronger frame for, and they were on the phone with titanium alloy companies talking about pricing and what would this actually take. So they take really awesome pride in these projects, and it's something that's exploratory for them. They have to follow the IB design cycle, which is research, plan, create, and analyze. So they actually have to evaluate these, go out and do some interviews of their mock models. I also do interdisciplinary units between math and design. So one of our projects is when my students are working in 7th grade with scale factor in math. I bring in blueprints, and the students get to look at blueprints and what scale factor means. We use actual architect scales. And then they get to create their own tiny home using 3D Home Builder online. And then they convert those measurements to create an actual 3D model of a scale house. So design is something that we're really proud of, and it gives the students a really fun, and again, like exploratory class.
Next slide, if you want to see. Next slide. Okay, now I'm going to be talking about some other special that we offer. We offer an IB physical health education, and the students get to go to it once a week. So our PE teacher promotes health and physical activity. Next slide. We also have an art teacher that provides our students with a lot of different projects to create their creativity. And at the end in the spring, we have an art show that our students are allowed to bring in their art and show it to our parents. We call the community, come in and they see their art. Next slide, please. We also have our music program. K through 8th goes through the music program. And there's Mr. Archuleta with one of our classes. But we also have our mariachi program that our kids, 3rd grade students, can start going into the mariachi group, which is at the end of the day. They have this program during the day too, but they practice a lot after school. And again, we're very proud of our Mariachi Paisano group. They pulled in 2nd place during the conference that was held at in Albuquerque. And it was the Spectacular conference. So they received 2nd place, which we're very proud of. So that's some of our mariachi kiddos. Took a really nice picture. Next slide. More mariachi pictures. We have the violines and the guitarras. Next picture. Next slide, I'm sorry. And more where they performed throughout the community. They're asked to go do gigs, is what they call them. So they go and do their gig, and we're very proud of these students. You know, they have done so well. You will have the opportunity to listen to them in a few minutes. Next slide. We also have a community schools coordinator, Ms. Tanya Abeta. She does a lot of things for our students and for our parents. She creates little resources for them, sends them out through our blooms. And she's always helping our students. If anybody needs hygiene products or clothing, she does that. We have our McKinney-Vento liaison, Mr. Celestino, Firmo Celestinos. He too is right on it to make sure that none of our kids need things that we cannot provide for them. We, of course, look for resources with Ms. Tanya, so they work very closely together. And we don't have any homeless kiddos right now, which is awesome, but we do provide those services if we needed to. Next slide. We also offer the free organic breakfast and lunch program. It's provided through the Farmhouse Cafe. We are a community eligibility provision school, which means CEP, means that it's a free breakfast and lunch program for all our kids. So we're doing really well with that. They love the food. Next slide. And family and community involvement, we have a lot of that. We have NDI that comes in. It's a residency program from Albuquerque. They come in and they teach our kids flamenco, and then they perform at the end of the 2-week program. Next slide. On this slide, you will see the different community partnerships that we have. We have Twirl, we have Science on Wheels, we have the Lions Club that comes in to do free eye examinations for our students. And if any of them need glasses, they will give them the prescription to take to one of the eye doctors there, and they help us with that piece. So that's really awesome. Next slide. We also have the New Mexico Office of Archaeological that comes in, and they come in and do some projects with our kids. That the students really enjoyed that. They brought in some fossils and different things, and they really enjoyed that. Next slide. Here we have the foster grandparent program that we also incorporate into our school day through the Ancianos program in Taos. We have foster grandparents that want to come in and work with us, and they are awesome. They're older ladies, but they are awesome. They do a lot for our kiddos. Next slide. Here we can show that some of the grandmas are reading to the students. The one on your right-hand side is a retired educator, and she comes in to do sign language. Next slide. We have the after-school programs that Miss Angela will talk about.
We offer a free after-school program for all students, and this provides not only student enrichment, but also provides needed childcare for families free of charge so that our parents aren't struggling with picking up their kids after school. And this includes intensive tutoring for both reading and math, an arts and crafts program, Dungeons and Dragons, board games club, Comanches, which is native drumming and dance, and danza folclórica, and of course our mariachi program for all students. Next slide, please. Here you can see some examples of our students in action during our programs. Next slide, please. And these are our community clubs and organizations. We have outside in the community, our students are able to attend golf club and ski club, courtesy of our Taos Country Club and Taos Ski Valley. Next slide, please. Our students also participate, our eighth graders in particular, participate in life skills and cooking to prepare them as they move up forward into a higher level of learning in the high school. And some of our younger students participate in ceramics club through Taos Ceramics Center. Next slide, please.
So our students are very fortunate to be able to attend field trips, and a lot of the field trips that they attend are from our fundraiser, which is our chili fundraiser, and we have a bag of chili to give to all of you today, by the way. So next slide, please. Some of the field trips they get to attend are fishing trips, rafting trips, trips to the sand dunes. Next slide, please.
We also offer behavioral and mental health support for our students. And this is available to all students. It's small group. The CCSWs that I have provide the students with, where they feel safe that they can talk to them, and they want to build resilience. And it's just a wonderful program that we have in place at our school. We are connected to Luna Vista and Taos Behavioral Health. Next slide.
And as part of our promotion of global mindedness, we recognize and celebrate various cultural celebrations throughout the year. So here you can see our Cinco de Mayo celebration with our students, including things like the maypole and various cultural dances that the little ones learn. Next slide, please. Here we have our Native American Heritage Month Comanche group, and they perform at school as well as in different parts of the community to keep up these cultural traditions. Next slide, please. And this was our celebration of 16 de Septiembre. And here we get to see an example of the students explaining the cultural significance of this holiday, as well as our Danza Folclórica group performing. Next slide, please. And most recently, this year was our Dia de los Muertos celebration. And these young ladies, as part of a fundraising project for themselves, painted faces, staff and students, as part of our celebration of this. Next slide, please.
And here's our governing council. Our governing council is very active and supportive. They believe and support the mission of the school. They understand their roles and responsibilities. They make decisions to further the mission. They hold me accountable, and they are just really supportive. Here you can see our governing council president at the time. He is educating parents on our focus areas, which is the IB and the dual, and also how the process works, becoming a member, or how we do our agendas and meetings that we hold. So they're very supportive. Next slide. Okay, at the beginning, I started off with why is Taos International important to the community of Taos. Now I'm going to say why choose Taos International. You heard all the parents what they spoke about. You heard some of our students. Taos International balances academics with literacy and the math growth. We have a robust music, arts, cultural, and community programs. We are committed to equity, inclusion, and the whole child development. And we are a strong community. Our strong community partnerships and family engagement is what we have in our area where we are at. That is why you choose Taos International, because we are promoting all this. So with that, next slide, please. We have a picture of our whole staff. My staff is awesome. They're wonderful. They are committed to our students. We want to see everybody be successful. And with this, Taos International respectfully requests the renewing of our charter for the next 5 years so we may continue serving our students and community. Thank you.
We are Mariachi Paisanos of Taos. We are representing the Taos International Schools. We have mariachi from the 3rd grade to 8th grade is our usual our program of how can I say our scope. But sometimes we have some epiphanies and stuff also that come in the 1st grade, so that also happens. But we've taken 2nd place at the New Mexico at the Spectacular in Albuquerque last summer and middle school division. And again today, I want to dedicate this performance to Majito. Joaquin Alan Archuleta passed away on Saturday. Thank you. Listos. 1. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you all. They are under the direction of Mr. Juan Archuleta and Mr. Profe Adam Gonzalez. They have done a tremendous job. You just get teary-eyed every time we hear them because they've done so wonderful since they started. It's been what, Mr. Archuleta, about 2 years maybe? And look how wonderful they have become. They are doing. They started online when we were with the pandemic. He asked, can I still do it online? And I said, yes, of course, if you can. And he did, and now this is what we have. And again, they perform throughout our community. We're very proud of that piece of our program. Thank you all.
You doing encore? You need encore.
Pardon me?
We need an encore.
We need an encore? Do you want another one?
Yes.
If we have time, that's fine.
We have more time than money, let me tell you.
To go to the lobby. We should go to the lobby. We should go to the lobby. Ready. 1, 2, 3.
I want myself in slave. Or the field we go.
And there you have it. Thank you so much. Like I said, and there you have it. There's proof of what our wonderful school is doing. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to the band for coming down and playing for us this morning. So grateful.
I'd like to thank Taos Decent School of the Arts that would lend us their bus, and the bus driver did a wonderful job getting us here.
It was a rough start at first, but yeah. Yes.
No, and some of those instruments are pretty big back there, I see too. You're not putting those on your lap.
So I'm
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, thank you,
Very
students.
committed,
Thank
and my
you.
staff too, very committed. So you all have a bag of chili that you can take. We are doing our chili fundraiser now, but we're gonna give you guys all a free taste of it. So to enjoy, and this is what helps us, again, like we say, those beautiful trajes that they have, their instruments and other school things that we need to cover. This is what helps us sell, and it sells.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I think that takes us to PEC questions now. Before the students all start heading out, if you want to say anything to the band as they're leaving, before we do school questions, just because I know they're going to probably start trickling out. They don't want to stand here the whole time. So commissioners, Commissioner Carrillo.
I mean, you probably speak for everyone in the building, that actually, could hear you fill with joy. And you and the kids that spoke, you were here. You're supposed to do this work because we care so much about the kids in our state. And I mean, clearly, I mean, just, I have other stuff, but just, the joy you bring. Sometimes until you're a parent or older, you have no idea the joy that you bring to others, with your art, with your instruments, with your voice and your performance. Thank you so much for being here today. And you know, 30. It's dark at 5:30 and cold. Ugh.
5:30.
Thanks so much, everybody. Yeah.
5:30. Commissioner Gibson.
Stop at 5. Well, thank you. I know at that age, it's hard. I just want to say thank you. I agree completely with everything Commissioner Creel said. I would only say if you have an opportunity, go out to the lobby. I think people all throughout the building would love to share in that joy that you brought to us. It's hard for everyone to pack into the outside there to hear it. So I think it would bring joy to their morning if you could do that for them.
Pretty good for a couple years.
I can't tell you how much, Ben, as you heard my dedication, my nephew passed away on Saturday. And I'd only had all these kids just with me. And this is why I'm young. This is why I feel young. I won't lie. Every day when I go into class, it's just beautiful that these kids are here, that I have third graders that love mariachi, that I have eighth graders that have been with me since COVID. Yeah, it's been a wonderful ride. And this school has been wonderful for me and my kids and my family. So yes, we love our school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it was a beautiful tribute. It was a lot of emotion from your students, so for you to be able to depart the leaders, you can tell the emotion that you're able to give to your students so that they can provide that back to us. So thank you. Thank you for your hearts and the way that you perform, because it's a lot deeper than just your movements. It's a lot of your heart. So thank you. Any other commissioners before we let the band go?
I just want to say what a wonderful community you have. And fostering that is what is going to heal our world, is communities like yours. So I just want to thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you all for getting up so early. Thank you. It is a lot. I'm not a morning person, so oh man, thank you. That is suffering as far as I'm concerned. So thank you for doing that for us this morning.
Gilbert, is there someone who can help them, like, go into the lobby area and get set up, or one of our people?
Swallow probably.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Thank
great.
you. Oh,
Thanks for that.
Commissioner Obenchain, before you all head out, we have a commissioner online. Commissioner Obenchain.
Yeah, I'm overwhelmed. I was like gonna say, I'm not crying, you're crying. It's such a beautiful experience. So thank you for that.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ben. We appreciate you all. All right, we'll go ahead and get down to the PEC questions now. I have Commissioner Taylor, then Commissioner Gibson, and I'll start collecting other hands, writing you down.
Thank you all for being here, really.
just as they were explaining the process of getting that many people, young people with all of their instruments on the, on the bus and here and so forth. I mean, really the effort that is just fantastic. So thank you guys very much. Yeah, do you want to say, in education and so forth, congratulations on Mexico Vista scores increasing each year over the last 4 years. Good job. That's a good trajectory to be on. You so many great processes in place. You have great classes and extracurricular activities and so forth for the kids, which again creates a fantastic community and culture at your school. I love the fact that you've focused on that and really fostered and grown that. The focus you have on service within your community is again something that is to be commended, I think. There's so much value. I can't remember the young man's name. Ethan? Anyway, the young man that spoke in public comment. Ezra, sorry. Ezra said, I feel safe. There's so much value in a child being able to go to school and say, I feel safe, So you guys are hitting it out of the park in aspect, as far as I'm concerned. Dean will have, I do have a, yeah, but, the reason is for, your proficiency scores being consistently less than the district and state. That even though some of those scores, some of those proficiency percentages are increasing, all right, they still remain less, under the state and the district averages. And that you've shown growth, so I'm not saying that it's not ever going to be better than that, but is that really needs to be a focus. That's one of the primary reasons our kids go to school, right? Is to learn the basics. And so I really feel like that is something that there needs to be a focus. And so I just want to ask you, what do you think? What do you anticipate for the future for those scores, and what processes are you going to put in place to try to make that a priority? Like I said, hitting it out of the park everywhere else and improving in this area, but it needs to be better, So
We agree that we really need to work on our math and our reading also. We are going to keep our reading, by expanding and extending, different other programs and so that we can get higher there too. The math, and it's not an excuse with our demographics that we have at our school, the social economic status. We have a lot of our students living with grandparents, great-grandparents. A lot of our students are in foster care. And it's difficult for them to even take anything home. So we're doing as much as we can at our school. And math is just one concept that is hard for a lot of students to grasp. But I really feel now with what we've done now that I've changed over with Miss Marissa, because we did have some turnover with our math department for the last couple of years. I pulled her in now. She's young. She's fresh out of college. She is, unpacking standards. She is teaching the teachers how to teach math, how to teach it. She's not just teaching them what math is about. She's teaching them how to teach it. Every Friday afternoon that we have in service time, our teacher, she gives them a problem that they need to work on and bring a lesson with it. And we talk about it at our school within each other. And she helps them to say, maybe this is something you could have done. Teachers are very open to say, what could I have done better? Why did it not do what I wanted it to do? So we are working very hard with our math. And again, we are going to be implementing the AIMS 4 Squared program.
I'm going to send teachers to trainings on that. They'll come back and train us. They'll become like train the trainer and come back and train us too. The PD just put out some resources for us that, she's already researching and going to implement with our students. But we do recognize that our math needs to be, and both our reading, they should be at the state level also. So we're working really hard with that.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Even science proficiencies are under the state and district. My point is that I really think that needs to be prioritized. I think charter schools need to show traditional schools how to do things, right? And you are I want to see that priority of, all right, we're going to outperform the district and the state. We're going to have the goal where we outperform the district and state in all of those academic proficiencies. All right. So that's my point. Is it's you guys are doing a great job. You're doing a great job. But I think we need to. I think that's a priority.
It is. It is. We agree.
Okay.
We agree.
Commissioner Gibson, and then Commissioner Correa.
So good morning and hello again. This has been quite a journey for the school. It really has. And the transformation that the IB program, this school truly turned itself around and they transformed themselves through this IB program. And I know how difficult and also costly it is for a little school, but you're growing kids that, the fact that elementary school kids can stand up and defend the work that they've done, that's a skill set that goes well beyond the classroom. And the fact that they're developing the grit at that early an age, that by the time they're in middle school, they're becoming advocates for people. That's immeasurable. But then there's my but.
I know.
So in your application, you mentioned that there was a time period during the contract that you moved people around from the primary to the middle, and your instructional coach had to go back into your instructional coach went back into the classroom. So my question is, was a lot of that motivated by financial issues, that you couldn't keep the instructional coach just as an instructional coach? Because I'm just wondering, you could talk to me a little bit about that and how that may have impacted your math in particular.
Yes, it was a financial piece that we had to put her back into the classroom. We are a very small school.
Right.
And you know how it works with finances. So I did make that decision to put her into the classroom. But yet, hiring another teacher for the math piece is the one that, and she goes in and coaches also. She's the math teacher. She's also the data analyst, and she goes in and coaches teachers also. So, during her prep times, we've given her time so where she can go in and coach the teachers too. So I still have her. She's got like 3 roles, but with that one salary. So that's what happened there too, that I did have to move that teacher back into the classroom. And it was due to finances.
Sorry. So then I guess I'm also wondering, do you think, because it looks like on paper, you may have spent more focus on the literacy part and the math just kind of got sidetracked a little bit. And maybe it was because you didn't have the strong enough staff to support that. But I guess I'm also wondering how that challenge with supporting the IB program financially, how that tension impacts instruction. in terms of being able to staff? Is it potentially, and I'm certainly not, I'm not asking this because I think you should not do the IB program, but I'm just wondering, you know, how that influences those decisions on, you know, do we pay for this or do I hire this?
To answer that, the staff really enjoys the IB program, the standards and practices that we follow with them, and the interdisciplinary themes that they work with. And I think that is where we need to be a little more stronger, where we do put more of our math in there than just the reading literacy that goes in. So for sure, we don't want to dissolve our IB. It is very expensive. It is. We pay $20,000 a year. But the staff enjoys it. They love it. They've learned it. We're doing really well with it. But again, with our math, again, like I say, we do recognize that we need to work hard on that piece.
Can I speak to that as well, Senora? Sure. As one of the teachers, I teach third grade. I think it's about also finding a proper balance between the math and reading. And any of our staff can tell you, it's so much easier to integrate reading into everything because it's everywhere. And so, you know, no matter what we're doing in any of our IB units, we're going to be reading. It's that much harder a lot of the time to figure out how to integrate that math in the same way. So we're having to find that balance in terms of not just finances, but time, because it's a long school day, no matter what you're doing between the dual language and the IB, and making sure you're getting everything in to make sure that we do spend that specific instructional time. And I think that has been prioritizing and, you know, trying to find that balance more cleanly has made a big difference in our math program, is finding those ways to balance, and when it's appropriate to, you know, step back from the IB for a few minutes and do that standalone time. That has been one of the focuses of our PDs, is like, you know, sometimes it's okay to step back from the IB and do that standalone time and make sure the concept is really solid, and then we can integrate back into, like, here's where we can apply this through the IB. And that balancing act has been tricky, but I think we're getting better at it. And I'm seeing the difference already this year in my students with that more focused and intentional learning.
Thanks, and I really do, I really appreciate that response. So I guess my last thing is with your, and I know you've got a small staff because you're a small school, but outside of the dedicated professional development time that you have on, I think you said Fridays, that you dedicate time, do you have other time during the week that you have time for teachers, PLCs, or, and I know you've got someone that goes in and perhaps coaches and looks at, but are you leaning into any other staff to do peer coaching, you know, with other staff, not just one person?
Yes.
Having a responsibility.
Yes, we have PLCs every week. We have common prep for my staff. We have once a month professional development, a full day without students, plus the Friday afternoons. Some of the Fridays we were using for to do our PYP, MYP, a self-care Friday, you know, mental health day in the afternoons when the kids would leave. But we're now incorporating it again to do more math with her in there with the in-house trainings. So we have a good plan in place that we're going to just continue doing to get our math, but not hinder our reading, of course, but our math, to get our math going. Anything else you want to say?
So I just wanted to add also this year, what we're seeing, and I know Ms. Angela mentioned this, is we're trying to find that balance between the IB program and, of course, our academics. Over the summer, our staff actually participated in the IB training, where a trainer from the IB, they came in and they basically said, you need to redo your units for PYP. So right now in the process of that, PYP is not only aligning it with the IB practices and standards, but more closely with the Common Core state standards. These units have been in place for years. And we've had a lot of new teachers coming in and out. And so now these teachers are getting to make these units their own while also using the practices that we're doing with our math training. So not only, you know, I'm not just going in and saying, hey, you need to do this, or this is a standard that we need to do. We're working as a team in those PLCs, and we're taking one standard and we're saying, what exactly do I need to do in this, and how can I incorporate it, or how can I create a lesson with this? So it's really a lot about collaboration at this point. And I know I don't have, you know, the stats for the next 5 years, but I want you guys to believe me, we are seeing the changes right now within class, within just assignments that we're doing. Students are more confident. They're coming to us and asking for help. Just a lot of the skills, we're filling those gaps right now and we're trying to build from there. And I know within the next 5 years, we'll be able to do that.
Okay, thanks. And that's really very helpful. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Commissioner Correa, then Commissioner Obenshain.
Nadine, it's great to see you.
Great to see
Yeah, and I remember it was about this time last year where I was planning on coming up to the school, and it snowed.
A snowstorm.
A lot.
Yes.
And so we had to cancel, and maybe it was even in January, I'm not sure. I think it was snow time, that is for sure. I'm just amazed at what you're able to do. The note I wrote to myself was the rigor of the IB relative to all the things you provide. I'm just like, when you're going down the list of, ceramics and all of the different things that the kids can take part in. The flamenco dancing and the mariachi. And so it's just amazing that you're able to, do really well academically. I don't have a but because they said my butts. You know where you need to be and what you need to do. And we're going to be looking at that really carefully when we get annual reports. And I just very touched by the kids and all you're able to do. So a couple of things I've written down here. I just want to make a note of, I made a note of, let's see, Mr. Kelly, the comment that you made about teacher satisfaction. And when you have an environment like this, you have joyful teachers. And we all know that if you have joyful teachers that are coming to work because they love the kids and they want to, you're going to have a joyful school, And so when you walk in someplace, and I say this all the time, I can walk into any school, right away whether there's love in that school. I mean, you can tell, or is it just an institution, right? And so I just can't wait to get up to your school. And maybe Mike, we have to get up also to Angel Fire, and he's not been to Red River yet, so we might just make a whole day and even stay the evening to visit schools up in the north. The comment was made, let's see, you said values, Nadine, and when you were starting after the video, and I circled that with a star. I don't know if you read The Atlantic at all. To me, I swear by it. It's an amazing magazine. It's been around for 100 years or more. And there was an article about the moral decline of America. And it's like, we depend on parents for so much, and so much of that, but that can also be in schools. Kids learning values, and morals isn't always good and bad, and I'm trying to impose my thoughts on you. There are things that are intrinsic goods, joy, empathy, respect. There are, not bullying. Different things that go to that. And when you said values, that's the thing that really struck me, because then kids leave, even with their globalism, they also leave having a sense of how important personal values are into who do you want to be in the world, and that's what when I speak at different commencements, it's always, who do you want to be in the world? And do you want to be that guy? Oftentimes referring to that guy, but good, loving, empathetic person. So anyway, thank you for that. I have when do the exhibition projects and celebrations of learning usually take place?
March.
Okay.
It's March, I have it in my calendar. 18th, something like that, right before spring break at the end of.
Oh, please don't have meetings on that day.
So
If you, pinky swear, you're going to send me the days when that's happening, because I would love to see what the kids are doing, and that's such a great way to do that. And it's challenging for us sometimes because you have things on Thursday, Fridays, and so do we. So, but anyway, I don't know, somehow like to work that out.
I can tell you, it's right before spring break, so I believe it's March 12th and 13th.
It's probably us. Okay. March 12th and, okay. Because usually we're the third Thursday and Friday of the month. Okay. I'll go to that. I'm curious about things. So The instruments and the costumes, they look so, I love mariachi costumes and I love mariachi just in general. But it's got to be costly. So how does the school subsidize that? Or are there any grants or is there?
I also have Title IV monies where I put, the big mariachi, the music program that we offer. That's part of it, plus also after-school programs for Dungeons and Dragons that they do math games and things like that. So through there, and then they give me, it's only a $10,000 grant, but through there I'll put where I'm going to pay the staff that's going to be working the after-school program, and then I leave like $2,000 for each one for art supplies and also for like music supplies.
Yeah.
That's where we've been able to get our mariachi, plus the chili sales that we do. We do
chili
chocolate,
sales?
and we do chocolate sales.
Yeah.
Ms. Georgetta and Profe will take the kids out and ask for donations. I type out a letter and they take it that it's official, it's legal, and they get donations and they bring them in, so we deposit them, and that's how we're getting all our little monies big monies to buy the trajes for the students, the instruments. That's how we've been able to do it.
Terrific. And also, we have the $10,000 that we give, that you apply for. And because all of this definitely relates to performance. The conditional thing is that it has to relate to the performance plan. But that could be an option as well. Curious about, I know the statistic isn't there, but what is the Native population of your school?
We have one student.
Oh, one student?
Just one student. He was playing with mariachi.
Oh,
we only have one
okay.
student.
Because I was going to ask about attendance, because I know, for instance, and I'm sure you know this, Vista Grande, the way they do their schedule so kids don't have to be dinged for missing school is they align it to basically the Pueblo schedule.
Yes.
But you don't have that challenge as much. But I would hope that this child is not dinged if he has to go to a.
No. What I do with attendance, when students are absent, they know that they got to come up to me, and they will do their work that they missed the day before with me during their lunch or their recess period. So they just come up to me.
Well, I was very impressed because a couple of kids said how they really value the after-school help that they receive.
Then, of course, we have the after-school.
That is
too.
Imagine if more schools, for however they do it, or if somehow municipalities could sponsor it, getting kids not to be free after school because that's when they get in trouble.
Yeah.
From 3:30 to 5:30, they're
Yes.
going to find trouble. But if they could stay on campus and do that work.
We do that too after school with the tutoring. Just
Yeah.
to give you an example, I have a student right now that travels from Cerro all the way to our school because the parent works in town. And she's always late for MLSS group, and she's in my group. So what I do is I will take her work for after school because she's got to stay for after school program, and I work with her there to catch her up. So we work around with our kiddos just to make sure, because they kids nowadays, it's hard on them. It's hard.
Oh, yeah. There's so much pressure on them. And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he said to say hello to you, Vice Chair Gibson. It's the gentleman from the Lions. She's Vice Chair Gibson. No, there's the gentleman from the Lions Club that does the big IRV.
Oh, yes. So
He said to say hi to you, and I imagine he's the guy that comes to your
I'm
school.
actually good friends with them.
Okay.
I will, yeah, they come and they have this RV and they do eye tests and they
Yes.
have eyeglasses. It's an incredible program.
Yes.
Probably contacted you, but I'll get you in touch.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
They are awesome. They also introduced us to the solutions therapy, which
Oh,
means eye tracking
Yeah.
to improve reading skills. And I have my special ed teacher that does that for me too. So we're doing lots of different things to get our proficiency levels up. We are.
No, that sounds good. I mean, it sounds like you're a true community school
We are.
in terms of all the services you're providing, because a lot of people just attach that name to their school and they're not doing anything.
So my
You know?
community coordinator is young and energetic, and she is out there getting resources and
Right.
helping with whatever we need help with our.
Well, and hats off to the Lions Club for their work, because I know that's a focus of theirs is optic care for kids. Okay, so I don't have a but I have a thing about, I love that the older kids are reading to younger kids. Always love that. And it also makes their reading skills better.
Yes.
And speaking skills and everything else. Math. So, and you're not alone in this. This is endemic through New Mexico, that math scores are just tragically low statewide. Now, there are schools that recognize that and try to be proactive. We have Middle College out in Gallup that was really proactive with that. And they said, this is not acceptable to us. The one that I point to all the time, and you go by Marissa or Missy? Okay, and so Marissa, because this is, I guess, your purview, the school that I point to all the time that had an amazing turnaround was the New Mexico School for the Arts, because they noticed that even though like their SATs had gone up 25%, they're knocking it out of the park in reading, and obviously in the arts and everything else. In math, they were in the cellar. And for them, that was like, oh my God, how can we be doing so bad in math and doing so well in science and reading and everything else? And so what they did, and they didn't have to pay for it. It's a grant that comes out of Exeter College. That's New Hampshire, right? In New Hampshire. And they were able to, I mean, they're a larger school and very well endowed. They were able to send 3 of their people teaching math to Exeter for this program. And the reason I recommend this and have told other schools, and you can call, you know Eric, I'm sure, but, yeah, call him and find out how to get involved with that, is so many kids, I'm thankful I wasn't one of them, are afraid of math, don't understand the relevance of math, and they just basically shut down to math. So it was teaching the teachers how to reach those children in making math relevant, making math even, I'll say fun, you know, and I mean the awareness that math is everywhere. It's in everything we do. Like I'm thinking about cooking with kids yesterday. Okay, well, how many, quarts are in a gallon? How many gallons are into this? And how many, this weighs this, and you have to do a teaspoon here. But if you're tripling the recipe, what does that mean? I mean, all these things, it's all math. And then because you do mariachi's math, because music is math. Anyway, so it just might be something you want to look into. And I really appreciate how much you recognize and have done a deep dive and knowing that that's an area you've got to really pick up on. Because as Commissioner Taylor said, yeah, we have schools that are struggling in different areas, but our expectation, I think, because we represent charters, is all of our schools are going to be better than the districts and the state. And most of them are. I mean, we knock it out of the park on so many levels, like in Spotlight schools. 43% of our schools are Spotlight schools, and 25% of district schools are Spotlight schools. So, and I know that this is so attainable for you. And the same passion that the kids bring to all of their arts and everything else, they can certainly bring to math, I hope. Anyway, and so I'm pretty sure that's it. Sometimes I reserve my right for a Columbo moment and give away our age when we know who Columbo is, right? And yeah, so just thank you for the joy you're bringing us this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Obenshane, then Commissioner Ingham.
Gosh, I have so many things that I wrote down that I want to get to, but first of all, what a horrible time for me to be sick and not be there in person. I just hope that one of the commissioners will keep a bag of chili for me. So when I do get up there, I'll be able to partake. My first question is not, what are you doing? It's, what are you not doing? It feels like you all have embraced every necessary component of your kids' education and the community. I'm thrilled at this school. Not too long ago, I was the director of an IB World School that had a DP program. And one of the things that I appreciated so much about the IB is the external accountability that came with your practices. So it wasn't just, are we doing a good job internally, but there were schools and examiners from IB that were worldwide that were coming in to assess the fidelity of your program. Were you meeting those expectations that IB has set that are worldwide standards? And my question is really, because in the DP program, we have IB exams, and that's really kind of our external accountability. And I'm wondering, with you all, what is the external accountability with IB with regard to the PYP and MYP projects? Like, do you have to, we had to send our exams out to international examiners. Is there other external accountability from IB with the PYP and MYP program with regard to how your students perform?
I can speak to that to an extent. The external accountability is mainly at the end of the program projects, which is the exhibition project and the community service project that culminate the programs for 5th grade and 8th grade. But we have our own internal accountability that leads up to that, so that we have rubrics that were basically. I can speak for the PYP, but they do similar in the MYP. We have projects that we use similar rubrics for from kindergarten all the way up, that's scaffolding the expectations for the students to get them to the point where they are prepared for the exhibition project. And that rubric is mandated by the IB so that they're well prepared to meet the expectations. And all of that performance framework is documented in portfolios from kindergarten to 5th grade that shows their progress through the program. And I believe they do similar in the MYP. If Amanda or Marissa wants to speak to that.
Yes, in the MYP, we have our community project that is our graduating project at the end of 8th grade. And they have to fulfill a particular criteria. They are graded on rubrics. And we have judges that come in from the community that, listen to the projects, evaluate the projects. We have discussions with these community members as we evaluate the projects as they're exiting 8th grade project.
And just to add, keep in mind that we do have to submit all this information to the IEB organization, and they approve or tell us there's matters to be addressed, and we have been doing that. So yes, we have accountability there.
Awesome. Well, I have been through multiple IB reviews and know the rigor of that review. So if you're still getting IB World School status, then you're doing it right. The other thing that I'm just interested in is there a specific, so in the DP program, there was very specific math curricula that we followed, right? So you took the IB math, whatever it was. Is there an IB math curricula that is, I don't know, followed by IB, or is that just left up to you all to try and incorporate that into your approach?
Yeah, so I can speak to that. There's not like a formal curriculum that we have to follow through IB. They give us plenty of resources, and what they like us to do is it's all student-based inquiry. So they kind of like us to take what the students want to learn, their questions that they have, and build off of that. So again, we're trying to find that balance of, we want these students to explore all this amazing stuff, but really hit those standards. Again, we really, really closely align with the Common Core state standards, and we use resources from the like the IB like portal and stuff, or from our trainers that come in. We have our rubrics again. I know we talk a lot about our rubrics that we assess our students on. In the MYP, I can speak to that. Each class or each subject has criteria that we follow. For example, with my math, it's knowing and understanding, communicating, using math in real life context, and observing patterns. So I have to align my standards with my rubrics to see how I'm going to fit these all in. So again, not a formal curriculum that the IB provides. It's more of suggestions on how to integrate everything together.
No, I appreciate that answer, because I know that's the approach with IB. And I think also the thing that I knew about IB, and I'm sure you all are experiencing that, is the standardized tests are one thing. IB goes for something much deeper and much more comprehensive. So we have to understand that dichotomy, that standardized test this. And I also believe that if you're teaching kids well, the standardized tests will take care of themselves. And I'm confident that will happen with your school. Oh gosh, what was the other one? In terms of your dual language program, again, my question was, what are you guys doing? What are you not doing? Like, you're doing it all. So what are the metrics that you're looking at to determine the effectiveness of your dual language approach? So I know there are multiple schools of thought out there about how to implement a dual language program, right? 90-10, 50-50, we're immersion, right? So what are the things that you look at to see that your dual language program is being effective?
First of all, I got to make sure that my staff is highly qualified. And so they are. The teachers, for example, Miss Yvette here and Miss Angela, she's a bilingual indoor. She's not, so they switch to teach the content areas that we have on our application. And also I have a Spanish teacher that'll teach K through third grade. They go for an hour with her every day. And then I have another Spanish teacher that'll teach from fourth grade up. Plus, in the middle school, they have their levels of Spanish that they have. We have the teachers that teach, let's say you're in level 1, 2, or 3, meaning the level 1 would be the students that are just learning the Spanish. Level 3, of course, would be kids that are already fluent in it. So that's how we work that piece too. So, and they're all highly qualified staff. They have to be, with our bilingual application, they have to be bilingual endorsed or modern or classical language endorsed.
Mm-hmm. And what are the metrics that you say, like, we're expecting our kids will be, when they leave the MYP program, will be bilingual, demonstrating on what, Spanish and English reading tests, or like, what are the metrics that you're using to say, yes,
Right
our
now
dual language program is successful?
Right now we use the Avant assessment, which we test our students all through from kinder to third grade, through 8th grade. We test them with the Avant, and that's our proficiency assessment that we use for our students, and it's all in Spanish. So that'll let us know, are they learning the Spanish? What levels are they're in? And if they receive a 5 or higher, then they are exited out of having to take the assessment because they are proficient. So we have had some students that have met that criteria. And then, of course, we have the axes for our ELs that they do, that's in English. That's another one. Are they getting that English? So that's what we use to measure our proficiency.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. The last comment I want to make is the picture of you leading a tutoring group is awesome. Like, that's commitment. That's dedication from the director to be in on the ground floor. So congratulations. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, everybody, the whole staff. The whole staff is involved in it. I have my community schools coordinator doing a group. I have my CCSW doing a group. I have Mr. Rick that if I need him to come help me with my group, he'll come in. So everybody, the whole school is involved in our MLSS.
That's awesome. I do have one other question. The last question is, where will your kids go after Taos International? Like, is there another IB option?
There's not another IB school. We're the only IB school in Taos, but a lot of our kids go to Vista Grande because it's a smaller school, kind of like ours. Then they'll go to the local high school that's there also. And yes, parents, I'm surprised they didn't mention earlier that they'd like for me to do a high school, extend our school to high school. But yeah, I'm like, no. Maybe another director that will come will want to do that. But yeah, those are the options that they have. Sometimes they go to Taos Academy because they offer all the way through high school.
Well, thank you so much for your thank you so much for your presentations. I wish I was there for the mariachis and the chili, but congratulations on your success. I love it.
Thank you. I'll make sure with Mr. Carrillo that he gives you your bag of chili. Thank you.
He already went. I usually get down. It's probably best to have one of these folks. So I'm getting to you.
Commissioner Ingham.
Yeah, what one of the commissioners said about what you're not doing. To be honest with you, I look at your community, and it's very clear to me that you have the hard part you're doing like incredible. Your kids are engaged. And that's one of the most positive things that we can have. If we can have engaged kids in elementary school, we will knock it out of the park. I mean, I know that it's very difficult to manage so many priorities. And I know when we talk about having to, you know, I understand. I'm not an academic, and a lot of the acronyms just run over my head. But I can see the heart in your community. And so frankly, it doesn't seem to mesh that you're having such a struggle with academics because you have such a strong community. And I think that that's probably going to work out. I think those things take time. Establishing a community is probably the hardest thing that you can do as a school, and to get your community behind you and your parents paying attention. I will challenge the parents that at this point, you have a wonderful school. And it is for us, the academics are so important. And you got to understand the whole charter community we've got to be better than the district. We have to be, because there's a lot of animosity, frankly. And that's not good. I know that districts could learn a lot from charter schools, but at this point, we have the legislature and the people in charge, of the people that distribute money, that charter schools are a option that is changing the whole dynamic in public education. And so I encourage you to challenge your parents and your kids to say, we can do this. We can far exceed. We saw a school yesterday, a tiny school, that is doing incredible academics. So it's not impossible. It's not because the kids are, and I hate when we get to that, making excuses because our, socioeconomic, da, 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 da. The reality here is these kids can make it, they can do it. And so you guys have done the hard work establishing that community. Now just take advantage of that. Challenge your community to support you in that. So I have one other comment, and it's for Mr. Vigil back there. I want to find out what's going on with your audits. I know I hate audits because I think they are, in a lot of ways, we just have to cross our T's and dot our I's. And I would love to know what you're going to do systemically to make sure we can get done with that and put that behind you, those audit conditions, so we can focus on, and that's a completed focus. And so I really want to see if Mike and you guys can tell me what you're going to encourage in the future for them.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the commission, Commissioner Ingham. My name is Mike Behill. I'm owner of the Behill Group. We provide business management services for Taos International School, have since inception. To speak to the findings, I did do a thorough review, kind of a reminder for myself yesterday evening to try to see what were some of these issues. I know that some rose to the level of material weakness. One thing I want to note that's important to understand is that there was no issues when it came to the day-to-day activities. What we're looking at is when we have fiscal year end close, there was issues in providing the entries for the auditors for turning the statements from cash basis to modified accrual and full accrual. So these are year-end journal entries essentially that we provide to auditors that they implement into the financial statements. If they do not agree with the entries we provide, or we lack the entries in their completion, the auditors tend to catch that and they'll provide the correcting entry. If they have to do that, it conflicts with the independence and then triggers a finding essentially. So this portion specifically that we've seen, I think in 3 of the 4 years of the audit findings that you had, really do reflect on the Behill Group and the enclosed. But we do know that the financial statements are that of the school, and administration is ultimately responsible. So what I will be working with Nadine and her team is to have an understanding with the audit committee and then administration as to how we correct these year-end entries and how they can review to make sure that we're doing our job. Because at the end of the day, the school is our boss, and we have to make sure we're on the same page when it comes to these entries. But again, I do want to reinforce that on the day-to-day, we're not actually missing any sort of cash. Budget was looking really good, and cash remains healthy on that 60-day amount in hand basis. The other entry, I'm sorry, the other finding that I saw that kind of would reoccur was surrounding food service, but I think that was addressed with corrective action. So again, we always want to see zero findings. A lot of times that's hard when you have limited folks doing a lot of work, and we have a number of new audit standards that come out each year. We're up to the 101st GASB implementation that we had in the fiscal year 25. So another type of implementation we had to do this year. And hopefully it stops at 101, but next year we can be all the way up to 105 with new standards that they come out with. But we do work well with the auditors, and as we have those standards implementation, we try to nip them at the bud before audit even starts. But unfortunately, a lot of things are going on, inclusive of school and getting school closed out. And before you know it, it's summertime. People are kind of worn out, and then we have to say, okay, now let's get into audit season. But we are aware of the issues, and we want to also note the final thing is that the findings are being reduced, and the level of the severity of the findings are also going down as well. We can't speak to fiscal year 25, but I think we're going to continue to see that trend once that is finalized and released by the Office of the State Auditor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Kloster-Shilich?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for your presentation. It was very uplifting, very encouraging to see what is going on at your school, and especially after we hear about all the other schools, the failures, what they're attempting to do to try to bring their numbers up, and you're there. A lot of the questions I had have been presented, but I have one question. I was wondering, you're challenged right now in the English department, and I was just wondering if, since you have that dual language program, do the majority of the students in your school speak Spanish, and is Spanish spoken during the school or just during the class?
Not all of them speak Spanish, not all of them, and it's spoken throughout the day within themselves. We encourage it in the cafeteria. We encourage it, even at recess, say it in Spanish, say it in Spanish. And then, of course, the classes that we offer. But not all of them are Spanish. I do have a big percentage of monolingual students. I have, those are my EL language learners, which is 17% of my population is EL. And they're getting the English. And then our other students could be Hispanic, just like us, but their first language is not Spanish, so they're learning the Spanish also.
So you were talking about the immersion, or it was brought up, having an immersion program there at your school? You have one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the reason I'm asking is because in one of the programs that we have on Navajo Reservation, we have a immersion program for a lot of the students who are non-English speakers. And they come in and they're taught English, but then, they come in not knowing Navajo, and they're proficient in English. So what happens is, within their program, that immersion program, they talk Navajo maybe 90% of the time during the school day. And we've had, it was during the time that this particular school I'm talking about was going through their evaluation program. We were evaluating and looking at the curriculum and all. And so they brought in the class. And I was really surprised to see that about a third of the students in that class were non-Navajos. And there were a couple of towheads in there as well. And I could not believe how they were interacting with one another. A couple of them couldn't remember an English word, and they would look at each other in Navajo and say, "What am I trying to say?" And they're saying this in Navajo. And so they'd all be trying to figure out what word was needed. So then they asked the parents to come in and talk talk about the immersion program and talk about how they're becoming proficient in as a Navajo speaker. And this woman sat down. She's a parent of a couple of students, two students, and she was from New Hampshire. And she presented in Navajo. And I was like shocked. I couldn't believe it. And she was very fluent. The accent was correct. And so I asked her what helped her. And she said that her children wanted to learn Navajo because of their grandparents. They couldn't talk to their grandparents. So in talking to the grandparents, they decided they wanted to learn Navajo. So the mother enrolled them in the immersion program. They had just moved from New Hampshire to Navajo. The father got a job who was Navajo with the Navajo Nation. And so the children became, as they were in the program, they'd go home, talk Navajo, and the mother felt left out. So she quit her job with the school district and joined the immersion program so that she could learn as well. She became very fluent as a result. I mean, she was standing there talking to us. And so she said that Christmas, they all went back east. Everybody went back east. And the conversations were in Navajo. The grandmother did not like it because she didn't know what's going on or what was being said. So they started teaching her. So the grandmother walked in to this meeting we were having, and she started talking. It was broken Navajo, but she was talking. And it was really interesting to me because Navajo is a hard language. It's backwards. And people say that if you can speak German, you can talk Navajo. You can learn to talk Navajo. So I was looking at the students who became versed in Navajo and then the ones who were only English speakers. And we started comparing them, and we used this family as an example. Their math scores were it was unbelievable on what those math scores were for all the Navajo speakers. And so I asked, what do you see the difference being and what's going on here? And I didn't think about this, but the kids were telling us that you learn Navajo and you learn the math in Navajo, you switch over to English. It's just a breeze. They already know the answers. So I mean, they don't have to go through the process of coming to the answer. And so I started looking at that as well, and I thought, my gosh, this is amazing. This information needs to be shared with, like, your school, the approach and the differences. And so it caught my attention looking at your scores in English. And I was thinking, well, there's got to be a way that the students who are Spanish speakers could become more fluent in the English language and have more of a command in that language. And I think it can happen. I really do. I think it can happen. I don't know enough about Spanish to know what the transition is, between the two languages. But I wanted to share that story with you because it was very encouraging to me to see how the learning was in English and then in Navajo. And I'm sure the same would probably exist with your language, the Spanish language. But It was really interesting listening to this mother talking to her children. She said she got real just listening to her children talk to the father, and she didn't know what was going on. And she said what was really interesting was when they'd get stuck trying to talk English. They'd be talking to each other saying, how do you say this in English? And so I think that's the value of having the Spanish language is learning to interpret and learning to look at the concepts within the language. So this is a little off, but I feel like if there's any discouragement, I guess, I think, it can happen.
Yes.
So that's why I was asking, do the students continue talking from the classroom?
Yes, they do.
Spanish, or do they just leave that isolated only for the classroom?
No, they use it throughout. And it's pretty interesting. Like you said, you get stuck with some of those words. Even us, I've been Hispanic forever, and my language was Spanish. But there's times that I get stuck with a word for English, or even in English to translate over to Spanish. And we see that with our kids. But what's amazing to us is that our monolingual Spanish kiddos, when they come in, they real quick, they start learning the English. It's harder for even our own population to learn the Spanish. But for them, they just eat it up, and they start speaking in Spanish. I will tell some of my students, I'll say, oh, estás hablando en inglés. And they'll go like, yeah, poquito, but they're getting it. They're getting it because you hear it out in the playground, you hear it in the cafeteria, in the classrooms, not just when they go to their immersion program, which is Spanish. K-3 go to a teacher that just total Spanish, stays totally in the language. And then, of course, the MYP, they also have their Spanish curriculum that they use with their teachers, and they stay totally in Spanish. But we're trying to get them to learn that Spanish. And then, of course, our ELs, like I mentioned earlier, we do have pull-out programs for them, for the English language development for them in English, and then they hear it all over the place too when they're in their classroom. So, yeah, it's working really well. It's really nice when we see one of our own students speaking Spanish, and then the other way too with the monolingual speaking in English. We're like, yeah. So, yeah. And we do test our monolingual Spanish students, our Yale students that are identified. We do test them in Spanish. They'll do the map in Spanish, and they'll do the math in English, and then the reading also. And we also compare, their scores, see where they're at. And yeah, because sometimes you give them a whole English, and they're going like, I don't know what this is saying. They can't. But then when they do it in Spanish, that's their language. So that's another thing that we do to accommodate them.
Well, thank you. I was just really concerned about that and wondering.
Can Mr. Kelly add something?
I just wanted to add, I've worked at a few high schools in Taos as well.
Sorry, you'll have to speak into a microphone so that the folks can hear you online as well. We want to hear you.
Yeah, Warren Kelly, I've worked at a few high schools as well in Taos. Many students that come from TIS end up achieving their seal of biliteracy, bilingualism. And so the seeds that are planted here transfer over and become community assets for Taos. And I know that I can name a number of students achieved the seal last year as graduates at some of the high schools that we mentioned, Taos Academy being one of them. The Moraga Flores family, for example, has had quite a few. And so I think that there are long-lasting positive results with the language program that we have at TIS. Yeah.
When bilingual education first came out, and we were working with the program at Eastern New Mexico University, and I took care of the English component, and then my colleagues took care of the Spanish component. And we went to Guanajuato, Mexico. And the first night we were there in our hotel, oh my gosh, we were serenaded. I don't know how they knew we were even there, but the singers were right outside our window serenading us. And one of the ladies was saying, do you know what they're saying? I go, but it doesn't matter. Just what I hear and the feeling, etc.
Beautiful.
They can say whatever they want to say. It's beautiful to me, So after work, they'd be waiting for us and they'd sing all these songs. And so they asked me, what do you want us to sing for you? And he was talking English. And I said, I want something by Lucha Villa. And so and it was men. And so they were looking at each other. And the guy said, well, tomorrow we'll come. We'll have something from that Lucha Villa and sang. So, so that's the way I feel about your language. It's just so beautiful. I don't care what they say. Sing it in my ear and all of it.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. I think I'm going to probably say all the same stuff a different way. I don't think there's anything new necessarily, but I do have a couple questions for you at the end of it. Yeah, I can't think of a single thing any commissioner said that I wouldn't want to also say to you. So it really is an impressive school, impressive leadership. That does trickle down from the governing board to the head administrator to all the staff. Like, it's clear you guys have a synergy amongst you that is very evident. And so that does, I mean, it makes my looking at numbers and turning them into humans very easy as well. And once again, the amount of content that you're providing for these students in so many various ways, my challenge for you, the governing board, is to don't stop any of it. Like, I think it's really easy to be like, oh, well, we do need to focus on this math. You know what? Maybe let's cut out 30 minutes of ceramics. Let's cut out the ceramics so we can do more math, or let's cut out this so we could do this as well, And so just stay correct the energy of, we're going to keep, because all those things are why your students are coming to your school. All those pieces, right? And then they're just inherently believing and trusting that the numeracy literacy are happening underneath that, right? But they're coming for mariachi, they're coming for ceramics, they're coming for the dual language, they're coming for the IB, they're coming for all the pieces that you're doing, which the amount of energy you all have to have every day, I mean, boggles my mind. It really does. Like, the whole community, I can't even fathom like how much energy has to keep put into this school from every single adult in order for the kids to have their baseline be so safe, consistent, healing, just really, really, really cool. I feel like the combination of programs you have too are just this incredible balance of rigor, differentiation, critical thinking, like those underlying pieces that oftentimes we talk about, the intangibles in school. I do think you have very tangible programs that are encouraging all of those intangible pieces. The IB, creating a rigor, right? That's external. It's not like, oh, I think this is challenging for our students. Like, the IB is telling you, this is where your bar is, right? And so I appreciate that. I appreciate you're not going to cut it out, right? Like, well, it costs money. It's difficult. We have all these other things going on. I think that's, once again, one of those things where sometimes it can feel like, well, maybe we're doing too much. Let's cut that out, kind of thing. We'll focus more on something else. And so once again, it feels like you all are doing a lot, but the system feels like it's comprehensive, and it's how school should be. Like, I feel like these students coming to this school is like how I remember school used to be. And it doesn't, I don't think I get that feeling very often, because I do think we get schools who we're going to have academics as our focus. And they forget that school was also like, I liked going to school and playing in the sandbox. And that's what I liked in school when I was a kid, but did I become the person I am today? And can I read, and can I comprehend, and can I critically think? All those were there too. So it is I'm just holistically impressed with the school. Once again, I think my I'm going to say it once again, same thing, different way about the proficiency scores, about the actual academic data. And once again, I'm going to say same thing everyone said differently. For me, especially because you're an IB school and because you have the global mindset and because you're talking to students about you're here in all of this, and you're going to go out and you're going to access all of this, right? Like we're in little teeny tiny Taos, and you have all this world around you that you're going to interact with, that you're going to engage with. And today, more than ever before, they're going to, right? And so I do want your school to be able to fulfill the promise that you are ready for the global world, right? In every way, in all the ways. And I do think, once again, like everyone said, the programs, the holistic programs you have for these students are incredible. I mean, they need all those. And the families and students need you to fulfill the promise that when you leave this school, you are going to be prepared not just for Taos, not just for New Mexico, but to compete with other students who are graduating from across the world, right? And I think we all need to have, like, in New Mexico, every school should have that mindset of, we can't just prepare them for our community. We can't just prepare them for New Mexico. We can't even just prepare kids for our country anymore. Like, we are a global community now. And you all, I truly believe that this school is going to become, and I believe within your next 5-year charter, the example of we can do both. We can have students be artistic, creative, community-oriented, community-minded, empathetic, kind, and intellectual. It can be all. And so I do think, I actually, especially with what you all have talked about the programs you're putting in place, the pieces you're putting together, the puzzle pieces you're fitting, you've been working on especially it sounds like since COVID, like coming back, it seems like you all are one of the schools that like came back and are like, okay, what worked? Let's keep that. And now let's go crazy. Let's build on this. Like, let's go back to like how school should be. And I'm grateful for that. So, my questions are going to be specifically about how can we encourage you all to keep what you're doing. Like, please, please stay courageous. Keep what you're doing. Keep pushing with all of this because it's a lot. It is a lot. How can you systematize it to where, you as the founder and head administrator, what does it look like if you are removed, right? Is it based off the people in these positions? Or what is the system you're creating underneath to where this outlasts any of you? And I know you all are already thinking about it. I just wonder if you can talk a little bit about what that, as you're coming up with these, how are you doing it to where it outlives any one person in leadership in that particular area? What is the kind of work you're doing to systematize it? And while knowing you're still growing it, right?
Yes,
You're like
still growing.
building the plane as you're flying it, understand, but yeah.
Yes, yeah, we're still growing and, just putting different systems in place to make sure that we're covering everything like you mentioned, not just all the celebrations, all the fun stuff, but of course our academics too. So we're working on that piece really hard, again, just to make sure our reading goes up. And then our math, of course, needs to really, we need to work on. And we've talked a lot about that. Sending staff to professional development. I already have a teacher in a master's program for leadership. Things like that is what we're doing. I have a teacher here that's doing the TESOL. So different professional development opportunities is what I think I really need to put in place with, to make sure that they're getting all the current, innovation, innovative things that are initiatives that are being put in place. So that's my systematic piece that I think I need to really work on and make sure it's happening.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's where, with working with the governing board on where you're allocating those fundings.
Yes.
Is really important because you have to, I think professional development, I feel like is one of those things that's difficult to do it as a check. Like some things you just have to like kind of check off.
Mm-hmm.
But then all the rest of it is like, oh, you could do anything. You can do absolutely anything. But every teacher sometimes needs something a little different. So how does that work? And trying to be creative. And sometimes creativity costs money. So knowing you have to work within the confines of that. But I do believe that if like the coordination is there between this is what we ultimately want at the end of our next charter term in 10 years and 20 years for the school and for the community, and aligning it to those priorities, I really do have a lot of, I mean, this is an incredible school as is. It's a great school as is. And I do think, I really believe in a couple of years, I'm gonna have data behind me that's gonna say, Taos International doesn't just build kids in a social way, they build them completely whole, like to where they have access to everything after they leave this school. I also do think, I think one of the trends I keep seeing too, I do think the letters training, like the structured literacy movement, the letters training that's coming from the state it has made impressive increases across the board. And I also believe, I do think that was a focus, right? Like it was a focus and look at what happened, right? So I do think, once again, keeping that, but then adding the math. I also think the way that math is done since Common Core changed, it's so much more reading heavy than just numeracy. Like it is literacy and numeracy combined now.
Yes.
Like which once it, that's not how it was when I was a kid, right? Like when I was a kid, if you were a good reader, maybe you weren't so good at math. And if you weren't a good reader, you could shine at math. Now, if you're not a great reader, if you don't have the comprehension skills, you are not going to read a word problem, and especially how many and how complex math problems are. Understandably, we need kids to really truly understand the depth of like what they're learning. But I do think the literacy increasing is going to lead to math increasing as well, because they're going to understand the math problem, what it's asking, and then being able to do the numeracy, then actually shows that what their math skills are, right? So I do have a lot of optimism that this is going to increase. And I mean, this is an easy thing for me to support you all moving forward. I mean, easily support renewing this charter, but I will support adding the condition on the math and the English language arts just to ensure that we're also focused on the same thing with you. I don't see any other issues the school I want to focus on, but I would, when we get that annual report, just to see like, oh, this is where they're at now, this is where they're at now, and are they following this, what's getting started, what is it, let's lay it in place, and let's see how it actually progresses across the contract term. And I really do imagine, I deeply have a belief that the school by the next charter term will be like a shining spotlight of a school that's doing school right in New Mexico.
That's our goal.
I believe it. So easy to respond to that. The only other question I have is, I know you have a cap that's not exceeded. You have space in your school. It doesn't seem like you have, but your enrollment is not as much as not even close to your cap. And I'm just wondering if are you at a number where you feel comfortable, like this is trying to recruit more students to come in to help with some of the programmatic pieces?
Yes, we
enrollment.
Yes, we have a Bloom's what's called now, when we send out information about our school, and we're now getting into what's called 6 Strings 2, where we're going to focus on the different charters in Taos, and that way, they know who we are and that we are recruiting students. Yes, we do put that out. We'll have our enrollment process happens in March. So we do, and yes.
Wanting to increase enrollment? Do you have a target? Like, do you have a goal of like
I would like to increase it, yes. I know that our school can hold the capacities up to 360, but it would be nice if we could hit, maybe the 70, 200 maybe. But because again, I don't want to overload the classrooms. And, but that's our goal. Yes.
It's a balance in there, right?
Yes, there's that balance,
You don't want to put too many kids in the class, because then if you.
But then you need the finances, because they generate the money, so, yeah.
Right, okay, well, I would like to encourage, because I do think, especially as your academics increase, I'm kind of a place of like, I can't imagine a family not wanting to have their kid in this school, right? If they're in this community, they must not know they must not know, like kind of thing. So, but I do think, I would, especially I feel like once the school has a baseline where you're feeling really good with your academics, I would encourage you all to consider adding grade levels. And because I can't imagine how these students feel going to any other school in ninth grade,
I know.
especially if they've been at your school, kindergarten to eighth.
Yes, that's
It's like they got to go learn a whole new world, which is fair. We have to do that as adults all the time. You got to go learn a new world. It's not, you don't get to keep, what's safe and comfortable all the time. But man, it'd be nice if they could get an IB diploma at the end of it.
Yes.
And you're truly getting to there. So just wanted to throw that out there as well, because it is impressive how the students are responding to this educational program is exceptional. I mean, the attendance, that says a lot.
Yes.
It says a lot. So to have so many students care so deeply about their own school, about their teachers, to have the relationships that you have that we could feel in this room, so I can't even fathom inside your school building. It really is exceptional. So I am happy to support the school, happily to support the school moving forward. And I do have a lot of confidence that this group will continue what you're doing and just add that element to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. Any other questions for before a motion is made? Okay.
I want to echo what Chair Birch said around adding grade levels. Because I really can't imagine, I can imagine them going to some of the other charters that are up in Taos that have that individualized attention and everything, and some rigor. I can't imagine leaving your school. It is what it is. It has to go to Taos High School, unless you're just living for sports or something. So anyway, you guys will work that out. You clearly have the room for it. You've got to do different things facility-wise in that space, but it seems like it would be a hit. Otherwise, the closest thing is, and you'd have to live in the district because they already have a waiting list. And anyway, so it's because you're knocking it out of the park, just like Commissioner Birch said. The one thing I have is for the board, and so I guess this would be for you, Ms. Vigil Romero. Am I looking at the right person when I say Vigil? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm totally looking at the wrong person. Okay. Well, you're never on the agenda, and that's a really good sign. And how long have you been the board chair?
This is my first year as the chair.
Okay.
Previous, I was a member. And before that, a very proud parent who would also love to see the school expand to offer high school diplomas, because I know of 2 children who would be more than thrilled to graduate from Taos International School.
Neat. Well, but now it's time to set up a study group to see how to make that work. So is there a lot of longevity on your board?
Absolutely. There is. There's some individuals we have one individual who is a previous educator. We have another who is a lawyer, another who works specifically with property, finances, mortgages, realty. Myself, who is a former educator as well as from the CYFD realm of seeing children at their worst and at their lowest. And then we also have another former educator. And they have been on for a very good while. And after attending a couple of the retreats for GC members and talking with Missy, and talking to other board members throughout the state, and hearing their issues about retention of quality board members, I feel like we're blessed with the GC that we have.
Great. Well, I'm very, very happy to hear that. And it's just a reminder to get in touch with Consuelo. I don't know if she's still sitting there, and RSVP to the event that we're having up.
I'm already RSVP.
Oh, great.
I witnessed it.
She has sent us reminders and a call list. You know, there's no manners anymore. You're begging for an RSVP and nobody calls back. And it's like, we need to know.
Well,
So I'm glad, and as many of your board members as possible, to be in attendance, because it's going to be at, not, well, Monte Sagrado, so it's really close by for you all. Okay.
It's on the agenda for tonight.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic.
Yes.
No, I'm very glad to hear that. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this one thing. What is your mascot?
Paisano.
Paisano, okay. I had no idea that was I knew it was Roadrunner, but then you said Paisano, and I had no idea that was the Spanish word for Roadrunner. I've only lived here 34 years, and my last name's Carrillo, for God's sake. Okay. Okay.
School in Albuquerque is Correcaminos. And
Okay.
international school, I think it's Mexico International School. They're Correcaminos and we're Paisanos.
Are they one of ours?
No, but that's what my son.
Okay.
And our personal mascot is Piñoncito the Paisano.
Yeah,
His name is Piñoncito.
well, that's great. That's great. All right. Well, I have nothing else. Thank you for the board for your great work. When boards do well, schools do well. And, you know, for supporting this team, thank you for your board. Good. Good. All righty then. I want to make sure I've got the right thing up here. I'm right. I move that the Public Education Commission approve the renewal application for Taos International School for a 5-year term, 2026 to 2031, with the following condition: that the school's record of performance demonstrates improved student academic proficiency and growth in English language arts and math, beginning with specific immediate action as outlined in the school's negotiated charter contract, using 4th and 5th year data from this contract term as baseline years for academic improvement. The first annual report will confirm completion of the items listed above, or if the concern is not corrected, will identify the uncorrected, unsatisfactory performance that may be subject to further PEC action.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion from the commissioners on the motion itself? Seeing none, if you could call roll.
Yes, I will. Commissioner Carrillo,
Yes.
Commissioner Manus,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Vice Chair Gibson,
Yes.
Secretary Ingham says yes. Commissioner Klasicevich,
Yes.
Chair Burt,
Yes.
and Commissioner Ovechkin.
Yes.
All right, that passes unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, we have a 15-minute recess.
Thanks to everybody that came down. Yeah.
Yes, thanks to all the staff. They're all here.